it all.
MC Hammer was a really kind dude. To everyone that guy knew, he'd provide food. Put him on the tour bus when he was road tripping. But when the IRS called, they ain't all chipping.
Alright, what's up guys? John the Don vs Caustic dropped last night, you know what I'm saying? Time to give the breakdown, let's go. You know, it was on King of the Dots, West Coast, Fresh Coast, whatever it's called now. Resurgence Card. I thought the card was actually pretty dope. They had this one, John the Don Caustic, QP versus Remy D, Amen versus the Dead Man, J Pro versus fucking KG the Poet, Zim versus Pariah. I'm looking forward to all those battles really, except for you know, Zim Pariah, which I'll watch, but I'm not really, you know, anticipating it at all. Alright, John the Don went first. His first round was really dope to me, I'm not gonna lie. You need Steve Jobs to go with that apple. I thought that was pretty funny. He had this whole little 4-6 bar spurt about Seattle sports, you know, Seahawks, Marshawn Lynch, Sean Kemp, Supersonics, you know, who might get, you know, the Kings back, so, you know, Seattle might get another basketball team. Anyway, I thought that little, you know, spurt right there about Seattle sports was dope. Tell Ripley's I'll be leaving or not. I thought that shit was gonna be dope as well. Overall, man, this first round was dope to me. The only thing that I could say bad about his first round is that it was only just a little bit more than 2 minutes, you know. And every other round of this battle by both Caustic and John was at least 3 minutes. Okay, so I'm just saying he went 2 minutes, about 2 minutes and like 13 seconds, a little bit more than that. But you know, I don't know why. Maybe he just didn't write that shit. Maybe he forgot it. You know. All right, Caustic went next. If I could speak correctly. You know, Caustic first round was filled with a lot of jokes. I mean, his whole battle, it was jokes, but his first round in particular had a lot of jokes in it. The Chief Keef shit, I thought that shit was pretty funny. The right hand leave one eye blue like 3D glasses. I thought that shit was kind of dope. Put the cig to his back like I'm cashing a check. That shit was dope. And the, you know, 8 bars he did before that were all like, you know, financial terms and shit like that. So I thought that shit was, you know, okay as well. His, you know, first round was 3 minutes 10 seconds. You know, even though his round was longer, I still gave the first round to John. I just felt like he had doper material in those 2 minutes that John spit. So I give the first round to John. Alright, John the Don second round. You know, again, he didn't spit 3 minutes. He spit close to it. I'm gonna have to look up these times again and you know, see what they are for sure. But John's second round was okay. I think it was a big drop off from his first round. He had some dope shit in there, but not a lot, you know, stood out to me. You know, get a tray early like you're first in the lunch line. I thought that shit was one of the things that stood out. And, you know, King to fire his mic and say I did it for LA. I thought that shit was dope as well. You know, John's second round was okay. It's just okay to me, you know, that's all I can say, right? Alright, Caustic second round, man. It's been about 3 minutes and a half. He started his round off with a rebuttal. John said some shit about, you know, how Caustic got hit in the face in London when he was out there for, you know, Don't Flop's 4th birthday. And Caustic said, you know, if you don't get hit at the end of every round, you're not being offensive enough. I thought that shit was kind of funny, man. Felt like the world was gonna end when you didn't get the call for Armageddon. I thought that shit was dope as well. Outcast in Atlanta since you can't kill a mic. I thought that shit was kind of dope too. You know, Caustic's second round, man, I thought it was dope. You know, I'll give the second one to Caustic. John, you know, just didn't, you know, have shit that stuck out to me, I guess, you know. I think Caustic shit was just better in the second round. It's 1-1, you know, going into the final round. You know, John's third was good to me, you know. ODing with that Weston, I call it my Anna Nicole Smith. You know, whatever you want to say about that, you know, he did that shit, you know, with the Hitman battle with J.R. Smith. I thought this shit was dope, especially his name, that white girls or whatever. I thought that bar was dope, you know. The remix, why? I mean, that just took away from it. It really hurt. That shit just hurt that fucking bar. I don't know why he remixed it. I don't know what the fuck in his brain he decided that he needed to say it again. Again, because that shit was a swag. Come on, man. Even in Mortal Kombat, Shang Tsung was the hardest to beat. You know, put a couple in Manhattan, let everyone in NYC Now they gotta dig him up since he ain't treasure his chest. You know, I thought his third round was pretty good. You know, could have been better if there was no remix, but the remix thing, you know, kind of hurt the overall round to me, to be honest with you. That remix was just not necessary, but hey, at least he went over 3 minutes, right? You know, that remix put him over 3 minutes. You know, I don't know what the fucking time limits were. I'm starting to think they were probably 2.5. But you know, whatever, right? All right, in Caustic's final round, 2 dudes in the crew is a relationship. That shit was funny. This is Office Space. Watch this white boy beat the shit out of this copy machine. That shit was funny too. That shit was dope too. You know, this is proof that if you love something, you gotta let it go. He was talking about the multiple choice scheme. That shit was funny. You know, I don't know if he was named after his pops or he was conceived in a threesome. Funny again, man. All these lines are funny and they're dope as well. So I mean, you get props for that, right? And the last bar that Caustic said, "Leave your eyes all puffy, leave your eyes all puffy, leave your eyes all puffy when I remix your face." That shit was dope, man. Caustic's third was really dope to me. Went over almost 4 minutes in the round. You know, there's some dude in the back telling, I don't know if one of John's guys or somebody was telling him, like, that's enough, that's it. He's trying to cut him off. He wasn't, you know, Lush wasn't doing it, Fox wasn't doing it. You know, John wasn't saying nothing either. So I mean, he just kept on, Caustic just kept on spitting. So you know, Caustic's third, I liked it a lot. I gave him the third round. I think it would have been closer if John didn't have that fucking, you know, remix shit in there. I give the first to John, second and third to Caustic, and what is a really dope battle to me. I'll probably watch it again a few more times. You know, I gotta check those times though before, you know, I end this video, so I'll do that now. Alright, looked up these round times and wrote them down. John's first round, 2:18. Caustic's first round, 3:14. John's second round, 2:38. Caustic's second round, 3:32. The final round, John 3:05 and Caustic went 4:11. You know, so round times could have been 2 minutes, could have been 2.5. Caustic was spitting over 3 every time, and John wasn't, you know, spitting about 2.5 every time. And so I mean, either, you know, Caustic was spitting longer than he was supposed to, and no one was calling time, or John was spitting short. You know, probably that, you know, Caustic, you know, was spitting over is the most likely. But you know. Anyway, I thought it was still a dope battle, even with the disparity of the round times. Still not as bad as fucking Daylight, Rich Dollar. That shit is just horrible. The, you know, round disparities. You know, if there's a fucking set round time, these motherfuckers have to call time. It has to happen. But if they don't, you know what I'm saying? Fuck it, right? You can't complain. Don't complain on Twitter. I don't want to see John complaining on Twitter now about round times and shit. Because he was right there and he wasn't saying shit. You know, fucking keep a clock in your hand. There's obviously someone behind you telling you that Caustic was going over. So, fucking no complaining. Anyway, man. That's all I have for this video. Add me on Facebook. Facebook.com/NickTile. Follow me on Twitter @NickTile. Instagram @NickTile. KIK @NickTile. Any social media site @NickTile. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe to my YouTube, listen to my music if you want to. If you don't, you know, you don't have to. You know, like, subscribe, describe, I don't know, dislike, comment what your thoughts are on the battle. You know, looking forward to other battles on the card, man. This is a pretty good card, pretty good start to this Resurgence card as well. So, big ups King of the Dot Fresh Coast, West Coast. You know what I'm saying? But most importantly, the most important thing is to have a good day.
Down a gal in a crown with the out-of-town clown that's always out in the town, clowning around. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Walking around with my eyes sewn shut, passing by the most beautiful things in the world. Like, so what? Find an empty spot on the curb and post up next to a homeless man, cart full of soda cans.